Hello, this is Lady Boulay, and I hope you're having a wonderful day. Thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for your comments, and thank you for your thumbs up. Thank you for all you do to support the channel. And yes, we are commanded to love one another, whether we want to or not, or whether we agree with each other or not. And today I'm talking about something that's very, very serious in our history, our culture, and our lived experiences. And that is the Black American redemption story. Originally, I was just going to make it broad, where I was going to talk about a lot of things in our redemption story because there is a lot there. But I decided to just focus on one story at a time. I think that you'll enjoy it more and you'll get more out of it. So today, I'm going to focus on these twin sisters and their redemption story. So in this video, we can call it From Captivity to Custodianship. We were never meant to survive in this new world in the Western Hemisphere, yet we did. We were never meant to build, yet we built a culture, a lineage, and a nation. And now, generations later, descendants of the enslaved are reclaiming the very land that once tried to erase them. And here are Joe and Joy Bryant. They are the living symbols of that art. They went and bought the plantation house that their family members were enslaved. They transformed the site of oppression into a site of preservation and empowerment. I think that's a wonderful redemption story. And it's not just them. My husband's cousins are doing something very similar to this. They went back and bought the plantation house in Fayette County, Alabama, that their family members had been enslaved, and they are turning it into a museum. So several Black American families are going back and buying the plantation houses that their family members were enslaved on, because guess what? Those houses have to be kept up. And guess what? It takes money to keep those houses up. Those houses are old. Many times they're not wired for plumbing or electricity, not in the modern sense. So it takes a lot of money to restore those houses. And usually they come with a lot of land. So that's very expensive. And the descendants of those slave masters very often don't have the energy or the interest in preserving those homes. So that's a prime opportunity for Black people who feel strongly about it to go back and acquire that property. And as I said before, it's happening more often than you think in the South. And I'll add this, once you get that project going, those houses qualify to be on the National Register, which means that you can get money from the federal government to help keep those houses up. So no matter how much people want to tell us that we are the bottom caste and we're on the bottom of everything and everybody's on top of us, evidently, we actually have an important redemption story. We are thriving in the country that we built from scratch, as some people say, from the slave system. We are homeowners, we're entrepreneurs, we're scholars, we're artists, we're athletes, we're political leaders. We shape global culture through music, fashion, language, sports, and activism. And we've built institutions. Think HBCUs and churches and communities, movements. We've built movements and intellectual traditions. And all of these things influence the world. But thriving doesn't erase the past. Thriving in this country does not erase the past. There are still pain points from our past, but the fact that we are still thriving proves our resilience. And that brings us to these two sisters, the Banner twins, reclaiming the land. Joe and Joy Banner are identical twins from Louisiana. They grew up hearing their grandmother's stories about their enslaved ancestors. Their ancestors participated in the 1811 slave revolt, one of the largest uprisings in the history of the United States. In 2023, the sisters purchased Woodland Plantation, the very land where their family was enslaved. They call it defensive buying, acquiring land to protect Black history and block harmful industrial projects. And that's a big thing, too, all over the country. I mean, it's just becoming an oligarchy where business and everything is supposed to be turned into some type of commercial project. These sisters have established a nonprofit called the Descendants Project, and they are turning the plantation into a hub of genealogy, environmental justice, and community education. So, this is redemption in its purest form. The descendants of the enslaved now own the land, the narrative, and the future. The sisters purchased this property for $750,000. I didn't read deeply enough to find out where they got the money from, but they are environmental protection advocates. So they do want to use this property responsibly. And they hope to provide a welcoming space for Black individuals to connect with their roots, learn about their ancestry, and engage in conversations about pressing environmental issues. So they may have gotten the funding through something like that, but they are environmentalists, and somebody has to be. Otherwise, these oligarchs are going to destroy the planet trying to make money. And that's my opinion. So, redemption is regaining or gaining possession of something in exchange for payment or clearing a debt. In plain language, redemption is reclaiming your power after it was taken, restoring dignity where it was denied, rewriting the ending of a story that began in suffering, taking something painful and turning it into purpose, owning what once owned you, literally or symbolically. And that's what these two sisters have done. They have taken something that began in suffering and they're rewriting it to be something of triumph. That is the Black American story. So we are the dream fulfilled. We are the dream of our ancestors. They fought, prayed, sang, rebelled, and endured so we could stand where we stand today. The Black American story is a tragedy, but it's also a victory. And every generation adds another chapter of reclamation, restoration, and rising. We are the proof that the story didn't end on the plantation, it began there. Okay, y'all, let me know what you think about this redemption story. Thank you for listening and have a wonderful day.